see that we have Wes Menzel here from the City Zoning Department. Welcome, Wes. We also have, and as I call your name, if you could just confirm if you have a name on the screen that is correct, and let me know who it is you're representing here today, whether you're a member of the applicant team or the owner or someone else. So Ariel Stouter.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Yes, I'm here from Fullerton. I am representing Dish Wireless for the application.
Okay, great. Welcome. So we have someone under Sam Crew.
That is correct. I'm with the ownership of the building.
Okay, great. And Mr. Crew, do you intend on providing any testimony here today?
If needed and able to supply, yes.
Okay, great. Just a heads up that if you do end up providing any testimony at that time, we'll need you to activate your camera. Just like to give people a heads up that they may need to do that during the hearing. We have Daniel Mayer as well.
Yep, I am representing the ownership as well.
Danielle, okay. Welcome, and yeah, I'll just give you the same admonition as Mr. Crew.
Yep.
All right, on the applicant.
On computer or video.
Okay. Are we on the applicant owner side expecting anyone else to join us here today?
Not on the ownership side.
And not from mine either.
Okay, fantastic. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to read through the hearing script. This basically just covers the procedure for the hearing, and then we'll get started. So this is the December 13th, 2023 session of the zoning hearing exam docket. The case before us today is case number ZH20230174. That's 2645 Erie Avenue. The purpose of this hearing is to allow applicants and any potential opposing parties to testify and to offer and refute evidence and testimony. This hearing will follow the rules found in the zoning code and the supplemental rules of the zoning hearing examiner. All testimony and evidence that an applicant or any potential opposing party wishes to offer must be presented at this hearing unless there has been testimony in the form of writing that was submitted prior to this hearing. The hearing will proceed as follows. The applicant, the applicant's attorney, or the applicant's agent will first present the applicant's case. If there were anyone here from the public, they would have an opportunity to speak after the applicant had presented its case. I will hear from the zoning department and Wes Menzel. In the event that any party testifies or offers argument in opposition to this application, the applicant will have an opportunity to rebut that testimony and or argument that was offered in opposition. And then finally, the applicant will have an opportunity to make any closing statements. So, Ms. Stouter, I will give you an opportunity to tell me about the project, the relief that you're requesting, why you think it's appropriate, anything else you think is relevant for me to know before I make my decision. I'll go over to Wes. Of course, I'll allow the two folks here on behalf of the owner to provide any testimony if they would like. And then I will turn it back over to you, Ms. Stouter, to make any closing remarks if you would like, or respond to anything that you heard from anyone during the hearing. After all presentations have been made, I will close the hearing. Decisions may be expected within 2 weeks. I may limit or exclude any testimony that I deem irrelevant or outside the scope of the application being considered. I may interrupt any speaker to ask questions or to make comments. In the event of any technical difficulties with the Zoom technology, I'll do my best to troubleshoot those on the fly. But to the extent there's some defect that prevents us from me fully going forward with this hearing, I may continue or postpone the hearing at my discretion. Okay. So Mr. Menzel and Ms. Stouter, if you are going to be providing testimony here today, I will need to swear you in. So if you could take yourself off of mute, raise your right hand. I need you to answer out loud. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you shall give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Ms. Stouter, are you ready to proceed?
Yeah, I am ready to proceed. I'm here representing Dish Wireless. They are proposing to install their antenna equipment on the rooftop located at 2645 Erie Avenue. They're looking to place 3 antenna sectors on various points on the rooftop. One at the north side, the south side, and on the west side of the rooftop. They will also be installing an equipment cabinet. All of this is going to be of the similar equipment that is already on the rooftop. And this is in requirements to what the federal guidelines for 6409, and this is an eligible facilities request, as this is already an existing rooftop site. This is a build out as a part of Dish Wireless's network within the city of Cincinnati. And this is to provide coverage to this part of the area. This building is located within the CHP neighborhood. My apologies, I'm making sure I said that correctly. Yes, CN-P neighborhood. The local neighborhood is a mix of residential and commercial uses and would not propose what we feel would be any negative impact to what is existing on the rooftop or have this impact the neighborhood as present. And the equipment in certain sectors, we have provided screening from the neighborhood. And that would be to the equipment to the south that we have marked on our maps as the beta sector.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you have anything else? I had a couple questions just right off that I wanted to
Yes,
ask.
go for it.
Sure. So, the federal regulations that you referenced, is it your position that because there is already existing telecommunications infrastructure on the roof of this building that that those federal regulations allow you to install more?
So in regards to the federal regulations, as this already has equipment from other carriers, it is an established telecommunications site. So when I say that we are within those guidelines, we are not adding to more than we are not adding additional like what is to this site. It's an established telecommunications, so it's not like a brand new site where we are trying to make this fit. So, and our equipment is not going to be increasing any like ground space, and it's not going to be increasing the height of like the rooftop and the equipment. And so that's why, because it meets the federal guidelines to what they have deemed as eligible.
Gotcha. Okay. To what extent then do you think local municipalities are able to place some restrictions in terms of screening and location of that equipment on the rooftop?
As long as we are working within what is already established at the site, like there is some screening and we are making best efforts to meet the guidelines the city has placed in their code, as long as we're making a good faith effort, then I feel like we can come to a common agreement for approval.
Okay. Have you had a chance to review the correspondence from the Hyde Park Neighborhood Council group at all?
I have not. I've had some communication with Weston, but I have not seen any of the comments that they have given.
Okay. Well, let me just, for the sake of time, maybe I could just read in some of their comments after they reviewed the application. So the zoning committee of the Hyde Park Neighborhood Council respectfully requests that all equipment and antenna arrays be enclosed in RF transparent panels painted to match existing brick on the building. The enclosures should be configured to look like penthouses or chimneys as we have requested for the 2 or more prior installations on this rooftop. We are concerned about the Dish North antenna array proposed to be unenclosed and positioned so that it will be visible from Edwards right of way north of Erie Avenue. We understand from the zoning plans examiner, Wes Menzel, that the antenna array may be relocated further south where it will not be visible. If it's not visible, then we do not request that it's enclosed. There's some more, but I think that is the sort of the gist of their comments and concerns. And so, can you speak to that at all?
When they say array, we are installing one single antenna, and that is mounted, and that sled mount is not going to be visible. We have placed that back closer from the away from the edge and closer to the antenna at the carrier equipment cabinet that is farther back towards the parapet wall.
Okay. So you would not be opposed to a condition of approval for this application that includes you providing some demonstrative that that proves that it is in fact not going to be visible from Edwards Avenue, north of Erie.
I believe my client would be open to providing if we're open to maybe doing some painting to match, or I've seen even in some instances there's reflective measures to like reflect the sky from above. Like, we're not opposed to working with the city to stealth this particular antenna. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I think again, to sort of, distill this down, they just don't want to be able to see the antenna as they're walking into the square. This is also an urban design overlay district, so there are, special considerations for design for most projects that go in here, and so there's I think a little bit more sensitivity in a neighborhood like this that is protected with certain design standards. And so as long as you have no objection to a condition of this approval, being that it is not visible, or it is disguised or camouflaged, or whatever you want to call it, then I think that would satisfy their concerns, is what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
So, and that is something that you believe the applicant is okay with.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Great. Is there anything else you want to say before I turn it over to Wes?
No, I'm
okay. Great. Thank you. Wes, anything you want to add to the conversation here?
I just want to confirm, like the array at the south end of the building, that is behind us, a proposed new stealth panel of some sort, right? Am I reading the drawings right on that?
yes.
Okay.
That south is screened behind a stealth wall.
Okay. And then you had mentioned at the beginning that you had 3 antennas, but you said one of them was on the west, and I was confused because I thought there were 2 inside the stealth wall and one at the north.
Yes. That's what, okay. My apologies. I think I was thinking of the original design. Yes, they are behind that stealth wall on that south. My apologies.
Okay. No worries. I just want to make sure I understood.
Yeah, absolutely.
What you had proposed on the drawings and what we were talking about. So, but yeah, I did communicate with Ariel via email about the High Park neighborhood's concerns, David. I did not send her the letter that they sent, just to outline what level of communication happened. And so then it sounds like she's amenable to providing a solution to that concern. So thank you.
Okay. I did want to give the ownership team here an opportunity. If they would like to add anything, now would be the time. Okay. Hearing nothing.
This is Sam Crew. I have nothing to add at this time.
Okay. Danielle.
Likewise, I have nothing to add at this time.
Okay, great. So yeah, Ms. Stouter, I will turn it back to you. Any remarks in closing or otherwise before we adjourn here today?
No, I have not. I think I said everything that I needed to say.
Okay.
If there's no more concerns, I'm good.
Okay. No, I don't think that there is. I've had a chance to review the application materials, the letter from the Hyde Park Neighborhood Council, the staff report, and based on that and on the testimony that I've heard here today, I'm going to approve the project, although I am going to include a condition of the approval that there is one, a demonstration by the applicant that this will not be visible based on its location, or that, and that's again from Edwards Avenue. And I'll dial this in to be more precise. I'm just sort of giving you a general overview of I think what the condition will say. Either that it's not visible or that it does have a similar enclosure to the south, the larger antenna installation. Again, I have to put all of this, I have to make this decision a formal written decision. And so I will include all of that in that written decision. As soon as I finish that written decision, I put it into a PDF and I email it to everybody who's in the hearing here today. So you all have a copy of it really just moments after it's complete, and you'll be able to see the approval and the exact language of what I'll require for the north antenna, I believe. Yeah, okay. Okay, any questions about any of that? All right, Fantastic. If you do have any questions in the meantime, please feel free to reach out, or if you'd just like a status update on the decision, I'm happy to give that to you. I mentioned at the beginning, they typically take about 2 weeks. As I look at my calendar here, I'm noticing that Christmas is within the next 2 weeks. So there might be a little bit of leeway built in there. I'll do everything I can to get it to you before the end of the year, though. Again, if you just want to know where I'm at on that, feel free to reach out to me directly, and I'm happy to provide that to you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks everyone. Have a wonderful day. Happy holidays.
Thank
We're
you.
adjourned.
Likewise.